Okay, let's get this show on the road. Welcome back to part 2 of the Monster Hunter World friendly discussion. This time around, we're going to be talking about the things we enjoy about Monster Hunter World. I am Joe, as always, and I'm joined by my buddy Disco.
Yo.
And I'm also joined by my other buddy, Alec.
I've got opinions.
And we're just going to dive right in. So before we actually leave on a quest, I'm going to post it up and let Alec actually take over. He had some thoughts on Astera.
Yeah, they're pretty simple thoughts. I just absolutely love Astera as this little impromptu settlement. You know, they came here in boats, and they looked around and said, well, what do we have sitting around to build this town? And they looked at the boats and went, that'll do. And I absolutely love the aesthetic, you know, like the chains going around for fast travel. Like, you can look down at a bit by where the commander is, around that table. And behind him is literally just like a stack of boats on top of each other. That is serving as what I assume to be just kind of like a makeshift apartment complex.
Yeah, the whole city really is just built off, like, I don't know what you want to call it, remainder.
The roof on the trade yard is just a boat shell. Just everything is like they tore apart the boats to make the town, and I think that is freaking awesome. I love that aesthetic.
I really do like. I agree with you. I like aesthetically, Astera. It's hard to say. Compared to a lot of the other games' maps, like as much as I enjoyed for Ultimate, I did think the map was a little disjointed, and like how you kind of hip hop between all these different areas, which were definitely cool, and I liked them. But I like the flow of this, and yeah, how it's all connected and it has all the levels. There's the cool market on the lower level, and you work your way all the way up the stairs. I do like the look of things, and it's nice just to have a game in full HD where you can just like really actually see what's going on.
You can see everything. I will say my one complaint is at the beginning of the game, those big like rib bones, giant fangs at the very like gate. They try to pass that off as if they were already there. I'm calling bullshit.
Oh yeah, they just popped up normally. All right.
Those were not there naturally. That's nonsense. I don't believe you.
Yeah, I don't believe him either.
So first we're going to be doing a Diablos in the Wildspire Waste.
Southwest camp, everybody.
So here's actually something that I can point out that I didn't point out before. I really enjoy the fact that you can leave from a quest anywhere. It's simple, but it's just like you can just press go and like,
you don't have to be waiting at a gate.
I'm just over here and I can just press ready to roll. I can press go from here. You know, you don't have to wait for everybody to go stand in a specific spot.
Yeah. It is nice.
Off we go.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Because I remember in some of the older games,
also,
you'd ready up, and there'd be that one guy who just didn't ready up, and for like 5 minutes till everyone's done.
I will admit, I'm kind of sad that you can't move while readied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which ones could you do that in? Could you do that in... You couldn't do
like
before
on and off, like per game. It was weird.
I think through you could.
You could do it in 3U, you're right. Oh, I didn't bring Screamers. Crap. Okay.
I've got some. Anyway, follow me for I have things to show you.
We're going to take a detour before we actually kill Diablos, because Alex wants to show us something.
This is things we like, and I have decided to kind of show off bits and pieces of maps that we're on, just because they're really neat, and they might not necessarily be used for combat. But this area of the Wildspire up here is something I really like. So I'm going to show it to everybody.
I'm not sure if I've ever been up here.
Yeah, it's not really a place you ever need to go, but like once you get to the top, you can see basically the entirety of the map. You can see all the monsters. I see a Baroth down there in the canyons.
Oh, that is... Oh, wow. That is nice.
Yeah, you can see basically the entire map and any monsters. You can't see the foresty bit, but that's because it's covered in forest.
Can you jump off here if you had like the glider mantle?
No, sadly.
No.
Damn.
I wish. I'd love to like fly halfway across the map. But yeah, I super love this. Like I came up here after like 50 hours of playtime and I was like, what? I think Disco said he discovered like 200 hours into his console playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, are there other map areas that have something like that, like a big vantage point?
Yeah, a big one is the Coral Highlands has a couple little nooks and crannies. I think you've seen at least one of them because you can randomly spawn there.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about now.
yeah, but the one way down by the Rotten Vale, so I might not have to show you guys that one for the video. But there's another one by the Legiana area that's super neat.
Now, I've opted for something in the Wild Sparrow Waste because, and we did touch on it with Mies and Muffin in the last video, that I think Wildspire is the best map, just in terms of its overall layout. We definitely
I think this is functionally the best map. I do think Coral Highlands is a close second just because it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, Coral Highlands is visually gorgeous, and I also like Elder's Recess and Rotten Vale, but just like I think in terms of a starter map of like a new player who's never played the series before, walk into Monster Hunter World, that whole dealio, I think Wildspire is a great starter. It's nice and open. There's no crowding trees. There's no extreme darkness.
Yeah, I do definitely, and I'll touch on it more when we do a quest there. I like the Ancient Forest, but this definitely should have been the starter map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ancient Forest, I do feel is it's a little too stimulating visually. Like
yeah, it is very complex. I really like the map because if you do have to take a little while to kind of just like figure out what's going on. But once you do, it's really not all that bad. All right, I'm gonna dung bob this.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna leave on his own because he didn't aggro, but I was wrong. All right. First complaint: I hate missing true charges. That's not the game's fault, but it makes me sad.
It's just so blue balling.
God,
I'll get it.
it's
I'll
just
get it.
upsetting.
Yeah, but when you hit him though, when you do, it's just
Like, oh yeah.
It's funny actually. This is probably my least favorite area of all of Wildspire, mainly because of the sloping thing. Which
yeah, the sloping
I
thing.
think that's a
can
pretty
be-
small complaint to have in terms of the whole map. Just desert maps are never like visually thrilling, but it is just like it's really easy to get around. I like all the camp spawns. Like you can use it as spawn these camp and you're
Yeah,
good to go.
they
I
place
actually
them.
love the central camp here.
Yeah, the central camp is very useful if you don't know where you will be going. Because I mean, central camp, it's very centered. But yeah, all of the maps are very like, all of the camps here are very like, where do you want to be? Because you can go anywhere.
They're very well placed for where you want to go. Like if you're hunting Diablos, you can pretty much spawn right there.
Yeah, you spawn right
Go
on
to the
top.
forest, right there. Eastern camp's good for like the fish. Central's just kind of generalized.
Man, this thing is just getting murdered.
Kitty cat strats technically still possible. They're less effective, but they do still work.
It's weak. I hope it doesn't run away because that'd be an annoying chase. Actually, I'm just gonna flash it.
Well, I mean, if it runs, then it'll probably just
Crap.
if it runs, it'll probably just go directly below us. It's not that bad. But yeah, definitely this map. Yeah, the camps are very, very well placed. I don't know if there's a ton more to say. Like it's just kind of your standard desert map, but it works very well.
I like that you don't have to use hot drinks or cool drinks depending on the
no
daytime.
hot drinks, cool drinks. That's like pretty nice. I kind of wish they had gotten rid of the cool drink thing altogether, but what are you gonna do? It's only in 3-hour areas in the Elder's Recess, so whatever.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing is just kind of as a general statement around all of the maps. I love because it tries to fool you into thinking that these are giant maps to fight the monsters in, but it is still a collection of areas where the monsters really want to fight. But I love the way they connected them in this game rather than loading screens, because like it actually feels like a desert. When you're traveling between areas, you're going through like little canyons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
you're like
makes
actually making your way all the way out to the desert spot. And
Yeah, rather than a loading screen, it makes them feel like a very cohesive, like this is actually a place that exists.
Yeah.
Aren't just magical like loading screens that take you halfway across the desert.
I like what you said before, Alec, and I suppose it's not necessarily a positive, but I wouldn't also consider it a negative either. Just the fact that it's a desert map. It's not necessarily anything special. I think this is just the best example of like what I wish more of the world maps were like. Or I shouldn't say that. What I wish the Ancient Forest was like, really. Like I like the Coral Highland layout, and I like the Eldritch Recess and the Rotten Vale. Like I think these designed maps are a lot better. We touched in the last video just like so much about why the Ancient Forest was bad, but didn't really visually show why we liked the other maps versus the Ancient Forest, and that's why I just think it's designed so much better.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you said it's a desert map. I also meant mostly aesthetically. Like they've added the Monster Hunter touch with like the giant anthills and stuff. But like, really, what creatively can you really do with a desert?
Yeah, it's like sand.
It's
sweet.
It's a desert. Like there are these giant anthills. That's certainly unique, but there's really not much else to it.
I actually disagree on that because deserts aren't always like the sandy hot things. Like
well, neither is that one. Like there is like the standard Monster Hunter large deserty area. There's the cave where you usually fight Diablos. There's the foresty bit, and then there's also like the rocky canyony portion of the map.
Because there's also cold deserts.
That's really
don't get a lot of...
I guess they could have tried to go for like the Moab kind of thing where they've got all like the striations in the rocks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That would have been neat. I don't think it's necessary though. But I mean, deserts around the world, they're either rocky, canyony, craggy, but there's nothing crazy about them. I think the most unique touch they gave them was giant anthills. These ants, they make crazy things.
As we swap out sets here, what are you guys' thoughts on the change in the skills and the decorations and talismans and the whole overhaul / I don't know, simplification of armor?
I guess as an easy starting point to that, the armor skills, that was certainly it was an adjustment.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say I like it, but I also don't dislike it. It's just like, all right, I guess this is how it works in this game.
It's not an upgrade or a downgrade, I don't think. It's just kind of different than the previous system. But I do absolutely think that this made it so much more accessible to new players.
Yeah.
As far as the armor skills go. And I do enjoy that since this is currently, at least, a smaller game, you no longer need a dedicated system on your computer to puzzle out armor sets.
Yeah, that's actually really huge.
You're referring to, for people that are unaware, Alec is referring to Athena's ASS. ASS stands for Armor Set Searcher, which has been a predominant tool, for the PC. It's not anything official. It's made by, I think it's by a user named Athena, it's just a big calculator where you just say, these are my talismans and decorations, these are the skills I want to have, and it just chugs out all the possible combinations you can have. And I'd agree, Alec, that prior games like 4U, and probably 3U as well, it was pretty much necessary.
It was absolutely necessary, especially in 4U where you had like 8,000 armor pieces. And
there was
like
such
hundreds of thousands possible decorations. Or not decorations, talismans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they're...
And on the topic of
yeah, you can
talismans.
Go.
Yes.
I do feel that the way decorations set right now, far more like accessible to like get good things than you would from the talisman system.
Yes, absolutely. The talisman system, or I guess this is mostly a matter of what it feels like. If you see someone like, such as Disco, who has 4 attack decorations, that still feels achievable. It's they're certainly extremely rare, but it doesn't feel completely impossible.
Like I'm never getting this.
Like in previous games, you'd see someone with a really nice talisman, and you'd just be like, well, oops, I forgot to tell you guys to show up at the North Camp.
Oh, I got high rank, so I'll head there anyways.
Because I have yet another neat little space to show you that I really like.
Because you see that guy with that +4 like weakness exploit +13 attack deco or some crap.
Right.
That's just never happening.
On the the rarity of talismans, personally, I guess I crushed so many hours into the series and I never really had a problem with getting good talismans. This game comes around and I'm a little more strapped for time, so I agree that it's nice to not have to be like, great, there's a talisman that's just stupid, unattainable, never gonna get it.
Yeah.
I remember with Try, there was they
Joe,
were
follow me.
Oh, where are you going? They were referred to as, god talismans, which was basically a B skill with 2 slots. So the big ones being attack, evasion, and critical draw, where, with that one talisman, you just guaranteed get that skill, which was just really, really nice. So I got the evasion ones on 2 different characters pretty early on, whereas I didn't get the critical draw one for Greatsword until I think at least 2,000 hours into Try on like the same character.
Oh, wow.
Which is just nuts. Like no one is feasibly going to hit that kind of a number. So it's just to be assumed like you'll never get it. And for me, who played unhealthy amounts, it wasn't a problem. But for most people, I would assume it was.
Yeah, I guess I don't mean to interrupt, but yeah, as you see this little area, gameplay-wise, it's basically nothing. They're mushrooms, they're gathering points and such. But it just it's visually like there's these weird little glowy green flower things, big pillar in the middle, all this coral and stuff. You saw all the anglers down there. And then also, if you go up here, it actually leads you like right up to the Legiana nest.
Oh, really? I haven't really done much actual exploration, so I've also not been in here.
It's really nice, isn't it? It looks really neat. And then you find ourselves up here, extremely close to the Legiana nest.
Yeah, I've never actually been to this spot.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Is this faster than climbing from the outside? Oh, yeah, okay.
Maybe? Probably not? I don't know.
Nah.
Okay, yeah, no, this is just...
cooler, though.
I know exactly where this is, yeah, I get it. That is nice.
Yeah. And then you just, a couple wedge beetles, you're up at the Legiana spot, or Kieran spot. But yeah, I really love that little cave. It's so different from the aesthetic of the rest of the Coral Highlands. It's all green instead of blue.
Yeah, it's got
really a bunch of neat
different
stuff.
Palette, yeah.
I'm gonna make my way down to the boy.
Oh god, I've been paralyzed by an angry bee.
He's like annoyingly right in the middle where I get no advantage either way. Here we go. Now, one complaint that I don't know if we touched on last time, oh, Pink Rapion's here, was I dislike how obscenely useless KO is in multiplayer. Makes me sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but monsters already die pretty quickly, so getting more than 1 KO would probably just lead to terrible, terrible things.
I do feel that Terra is already so insane in this game. So, that, if you had...
they tried to nerf paralysis so hard, and they just kind of didn't do it.
Hopefully I'll get 2 KOs on Odegaran with how much we're going to be paralyzing it, but it is just as one who likes to use hammer a lot, and for you, I really enjoyed using the charge blade because it was like another KO weapon, just some variety in KO. To now come into this game, and it's like in a team of 4, even if I'm just wailing on the head, I'd be lucky to get 2 KOs. That's just kind of depressing, and it's like, why would I even use hammer? If I'm only gonna get 2 KOs. I still do use hammer, of course.
Well, hammer just also, it still does absurd amounts of damage.
Yeah, it's still great as a damage presence, of course. But what I really liked about hammer was it's like kind of quasi-support, where it's like, yes, it dealt huge damage, but you also were the guy that could knock out and allow your teammates to then get even more damage. So it was this great, 1-2 punch kind of weapon. Still great. Still love it. Love the changes they've made to it. But it's just like, well, I wish KO had a little more.
It's definitely better solo now.
I do feel, in a way, that kind of indirectly buffed Hunting Horn in a way. Because while KO it's not that great in this game, the fact that, and KO being kind of bad, its exhaust values are still very strong. And so, you don't have monsters KO'd, but you do have monsters very tired very often.
Yeah.
And Hammer's already not, doing huge work, in the KO department. It's doing fine damage.
KO. See if I can land this. This Big Bang thing, it looks so silly. It looks like you're bouncing, but damage.
Oh, the damage is absurd.
Gorgeous. What is... Tsitsi has no idea what's going on right now.
Nope.
He wants no part of it, though.
Look at this. Look at this man. What is...
Oh. Go on, come back here.
He's in the air.
Tsitsi, we need to have a talk.
I think, did you paralyze him, or did he land in a trap?
I think it was the trap.
Oh
dude.
yeah, Zitzi got stuck in the shock trap I wanted to use for Otogaron, but
Oof.
it's okay. He dead now.
Rip Otogaron.
And we got.
that
Wait,
was
did we
ruthless.
catch the floating Zitzi?
Yeah, I screenshot it. Never as a
Did
thumbnail.
we get it on like a?
I think I caught it on video.
I hope so. That was great. I love that. I guess actually that actually probably leads into a good segue. That's the first time in this game that I've seen a glitch like that.
The first time I saw a glitch like that was actually like right when this first came out. Like, then Carving, follow me. I was fighting a Legiana for the first time on this map, right?
Are we following
And-
YouTube?
And
on
I
this
had just climbed up, like this area from like some spot, and
Yep.
I flash bombed him down there, and he flew up and he got stuck in this stuff, like geometry wise.
Oh, and like this stuff.
In this ground.
Did you
probably
post a
climbed up from the
screenshot of that?
aircraft.
Because I feel like I remember
I
seeing
think I
that.
did at some point. I have it floating around, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in this, also in this map, we finished it a bit quick. I didn't really get to talk about the Coral Highlands just being fucking gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love-
visually it is by far the prettiest. Just all the colors and the fauna and
The
stuff.
colors and like, you know, like it's just like they're so clearly like this should be underwater, but it's not.
Yeah.
I just love that. You've got like the jellyfish around and like the coral birds, which are like a weird mixture of a bunch of different animals.
It's really unique. It's not something I'd be like.
I don't think I've seen something similar to this in a game aside from like. I think the closest thing, at least that I've seen, is the DLC from Bloodborne,
Yeah.
where like there's
Hunters?
like weird like oceany shit growing not in the ocean.
All right, we got Nurg.
Monster Hunter World is obviously the Bloodborne of action hunting games.
No, everybody knows that Monster Hunter copied Demon Souls. That's
Oh, yeah.
everyone knows.
Joe, I will punch you.
All right, so now we're gonna head off to Elder's Recess to fight. Is Nurg really the flagship? Who is the flagship monster in this game?
Us, obviously.
Nurg, actually, I guess, yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know if they
I
really
actually have no
had,
clue.
like, a
Like, some
specific,
people-
I don't think they had like a specific flagship.
Yeah, I don't really recall any
Like
one
they
game.
just had Nurg in the demos, and people were like, Nurg.
Nurg.
Well, like, I think it was Anjaneth, maybe?
Oh yeah, Anjaneth was in a lot of the opening stuff.
Like the original, like when they first announced it, you know? He was in a lot of the promotional stuff.
I gotta fix that. Yeah, Elder's Recess, we're kind of running this map point at the ground, but just gotta point it again that like Elder's Recess, great map. I think it's pretty easy
Yeah,
to
it's super
understand.
simple.
I love it from a gameplay standpoint, but I actually do not care for the crystal caves
Really,
too much.
I think the
visually.
I think the crystal thing is like super neat. Like it's been done before, but
Yeah.
it's still like it still is like really cool. I think.
It's better than fighting two Orochi Kira in that place. At the quicksand.
Don't you bring that quest into this disco? Let it lie in my dusty 3DS where it belongs.
Pretty much.
Now Charge Blade, I don't know if we've ever had a chance to touch on that because I didn't ever post gameplay from 4U because 3DS capture cards are $500 and I'm not paying for that. But
And they last like a
Also,
year
you had to
before
like
they die.
send them away and like not have your 3DS or Monster Hunter for like a couple weeks.
yeah, a
And
lot of
it's like
overhead.
So expensive. They die
I
after a
definitely
year.
was a Charge Blade main for the majority of 4U, and damn do I love the Charge Blade. And then I briefly played Gen, and they just shit all over it, and it was the worst thing ever. So I'm very glad to see the Charge Blade return to its true form of being very similar to 4U with the added improvement of being able to do super bursts more liberally. Oh, nerd,
Yeah.
come on. So, I don't know. I just wanted to point out that I really enjoy Charge Blade, and also I hate how much
Yeah,
it's
Charge
being
Blade's
drawing.
super neat. We can't mention weapons without mentioning that Lance is based again.
Oh my god, Lance is so good.
It hasn't been based since Try.
Like, yeah, like we haven't had it this good since Try, and it's even better than in Try.
Lance got a brutal nerf in Portable Third and just kept getting worse and worse with each iteration after that.
Like, yeah, it was
Gen
okay.
gone.
It
That
was
triple-
okay in like 3U still. I do kind of miss, in 3U I had, this is a bit of a tangent, there was a very secret tech lance. Which was it was just like this lance that was actually like really secretly super good. And that was the, red Durham lance.
Okay, I think I remember you using that.
Yeah, it was just like, it looks like okay on the surface, because it had really high raw, I don't think the sharpness was super good. But when you awakened it, it got like 500 water element.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was just like, this is like secretly like actually kind of a stupidly good weapon.
I remember the Black Diablos lance being really good in that too.
Oh yeah, that was like the standard lance, but the Durham lance was like secretly like hyper really good. But that's quite the tangent. We're here to talk about World.
Oh god. Nurg hits like a friggin' train.
Oh yeah, have you forgotten?
It's been a while since I fought him actually.
Like I think he's probably like the squishiest Elder Dragon. He dies fast, but boy does he punch hard.
Yeah.
He can really punch.
I saw some video a while ago about like I think it was Chris from Darkside talking about how he's I'm not sure if it was him. I'm not sure anymore, but he was discussing how Nurg is both the easiest Elder Dragon to fight and also potentially one of the harder ones.
Oh yeah, if you mess up on him, he can just kind of
because of his mechanic.
Punch you into the face.
Yeah, I tried doing some great sword solos of him, like some semi-pro strats great sword, and man, you are very dependent on some pretty precise hits and staggers, because if you miss those staggers, it is over. In like seconds, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not one to go easy on you.
Well, it's also one of the reasons why, I mean, as people might have noticed, I've been using Paralysis these past few quests. Nurg, you just kind of want a DPS. You want a DPS real hard.
Hot DPS.
Yeah.
Because, like, really, the strat for Nurg is just kill him before he kills you. It's like, that's really all it's about.
Before he reaches his final form.
Like, just punch him harder than he punches you.
Yeah, these previous ones, it's been like really easy to have a conversation while also fighting things. This is the first one where it's like, I actually have to concentrate on guarding well and not getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, I guess we're talking a lot about Nurg himself. The Elder's Recesses, I guess, if we're talking about it. I mean, I like having the conversation about the maps and the maps. I like talking less about map design, as was the last episode, but just the way the maps feel, the way they look.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like, you know, everyone always gives you shit when you're like, oh, graphics aren't everything to make a game. And, like, that's very true. And we definitely discussed that quite a bit in the previous
good graphics are definitely worth appreciating, for sure.
Yeah, and, like, I can point out, and we certainly did last time around, like in terms of an objective, logical gameplay design, some maps, mainly Ancient Forest, have some flaws. But I think it's perfectly valid to say that they look good. They look pretty. You know, we've been asking for God knows how long, you know, upgrade the engine, put it on PC, make it 60 FPS, give it HD. Like, those are valid requests and complaints that people have had about the previous games in the series. And we finally have it. And I think just to be like, oh, well, all you care about is visuals, you know, kind of discredits an argument. There's a name for that kind of a fallacy. But, like, they look good. They look really, really good.
And I do still hold the Ancient Forest. I understand that you might not like it, but it's still a good map.
Oh yeah,
like,
it definitely
yes,
has.
it's complex and it does require you to go on an expedition and kind of just figure it out. You kind of have to commit it to memory. But I don't think that that's a bad thing.
I do feel like some of these maps just wouldn't work if they weren't on this end. Like even if they were segmented, like visually, like this, you couldn't. If you had this on a 240p screen or whatever, on a 3DS or whatever,
it'd be a mess. Yeah,
it'd be a mess because there's not enough detail to distinguish things.
If the areas were segmented, you'd go from a crystal area into a lava area, and just be like, this has like no continuity.
Yeah, like
I just went through like a super crystally place, and now I'm in a volcano apparently. What?
Well, like you know, they did some tweaks like of the lighting to make it like look like, hey, this is going into a lava bit. Like look at Coral Highlands. There's so much going on there foliage-wise sometimes. Like and like you know the coral.
There's so much.
It just wouldn't work on like an older engine.
I guess on the topic of this is less about the map. Well, I guess it's kind of about the maps. The introduction of endemic life is something that I love to death.
Oh yeah.
Like it makes like the world feel alive because previously there were small monsters, and big monsters. There were no, like, you know, these are the small things that exist. They're not really monsters, but, like, they exist in this world. That didn't happen before. It makes the world feel alive.
Yeah, I agree. I remember actually when you were telling me about the endemic life thing, there's so many games where they obviously add those, I don't know what you call them, little critters, little birds and things crawling around. And like in any other game, it's purely a visual thing. You know, it's skaters across your screen, and you're like, oh, look, cute. But like, you can't do anything with it. So
Yeah.
when you were telling me that, like, oh yeah, just point your net at literally anything and you can capture it, it's like, you know, it's not like
That's so cool.
It's not useful. It's not like it's gonna give me any kind of a special bonus to my damage, but it's just like, damn, that is a really cool little detail that like no other game, like you can play like an Animal Crossing, like a sim kind of a game, and like that's, you know, catching wildlife is pretty common, but like how many combat based, you know, RPG kind of whatever games have that? Like none of them? Pretty sure none of them. Just not a thing.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Hi.
It's just a nice little thing that, sure, maybe the average person doesn't really care, but when you just kind of catch that detail, you're just like, damn, that's super cool.
If you do catch everything, you do get a special guild card background.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And then get some titles too, maybe?
Yeah, you might get a title or two from catching stuff. But, like, and you can, like, put them in your house, which I think is super cool.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's surprising how, like, actually, like, fun and interesting it is trying to catch everything. Like, for a lot of the rare ones, it really is just, like, reloading an expedition, like, however many times until you find it. But, like, you get into it.
Yeah.
You do.
Like, I remember there's a couple days there. He just spent like literally all day just doing that.
Yeah, I'd spend many an hour just like, I am going to find the big fish.
I remember that too. Where it'd be like, hey, you want to hunt? Like, nah, I'm fishing. Oh, in the game? In the game. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing now.
It's just a good way to flesh out
Also,
more
I
of
guess
that.
this is probably a good point to segue it. Expeditions are amazing.
Okay, yeah, I totally forgot about that, actually. We definitely have to talk about that. The fact that since Try, you know, you had that free hunt kind of mechanic. You can go out, and with each game, they made it a little bit better. And Alec, I know for sure. Actually, you know, yeah, you can say it better than I can. So what's your point on it?
I have loved the free hunt for so long, but every time, due to whatever limitations they were working with, first of all, there'd be a monster spawn limit. Only like 4 or 5 would spawn. I forget the exact number. But in this game, there's not. Monsters will spawn for as long as you remain in that expedition. Whether it be an hour, 2 hours, all day, monsters will just keep spawning.
That's great.
And it's also, this is something I have been begging for since Try. It's online. I can free hunt with my friends, and I've gone on about this. I love these maps. I can free hunt with my friends in these maps that I love. And, you know, it's an expedition. You don't really have to kill everything that shows up. If a Kulu shows up, it's just like, well, screw it, I don't care.
Yeah.
And you can go fishing, you can search for endemic life. I love it so much. It's fantastic.
I agree. The fact that it's just like the idea that you know, if it's with your friends, it's like, what do we want to hunt? You know, I don't know. I can't think of anything good. I don't need anything. Just like, well, let's just pop on an expedition and just
Yeah,
kill.
that is my favorite thing. It's definitely because one of the things I experienced, especially I think in 4U with how many monsters there were, kind of like I guess decision paralysis. Where it's just like, there's like 48 monsters I could choose to hunt. Which one do I want to hunt?
And
And the answer is always just like, I don't know, actually.
That was okay. So that's something I did want to bring up, and I'm trying to be mindful. There's probably like a word for it or a phrase, where you're like trying to justify. I think it's cognitive dissonance, where it's like you're trying to justify a bad thing by like saying it's actually good. So I'm aware of that, but I do really think that there is such a thing as too much content. Like,
yeah, it's what I said. It's, you know, decision paralysis. You have 40 things to choose from, and you just stare at this list like, what do I want to do?
And at the end of the day, for you, all you ended up hunting really was this Rajangs.
Yeah, it's not just a thing that Monster Hunter is guilty of. Just with this push that everything has to be open world, blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, it also like a good analog is like Skyrim. If you have like 15 different side quests, which one do you pick?
Yeah, it's not necessarily good or bad. It just seems like there's so many games that, like, you know, it has to be this 100-hour entire enormous world campaign. Like, sometimes I just want to sit down and play a game. And I definitely noticed in 4U where they advertise like, oh, there's like 70 monsters. Like, yeah, but how many are you really doing? How many of them are just kind of a reskin subspecies? You know, I think World can use more monsters. I'm excited for World to get more monsters, but at the same time, all of the monsters in World, like, I'm not gonna say they're all fun to fight, Levasia, but they're at least like an interesting fight, and they're done well. They all kind of have these unique mechanics about them. The bird wyverns could, you know, are a little bit of a gimme, just because like bird wyverns are always kind of gimmicky.
Well, I mean, you need some kind of intro level monster.
Yeah, but it's just like everything here has effort put into it, as opposed to, yeah, like you were saying, Disco, and for you, like all you really fight is like Gore and Rajang and Shigeru, and like that's it, and that's fine. It was a great game, and I loved it. But it was just like,
I forgot the trap pods. We should capture this Rathalos.
You want to capture it?
Oh yeah. On the topic of that, frickin', like, people, they talk about a lack of monsters in this game. They can't just import all that data because it's the same engine, like from like older games, like 4 and 4 Ultimate.
Yeah, it takes a very long time to completely from the ground up build a new monster in this new engine.
I feel like, yeah, because one, the textures being higher, that means that's gonna take longer time to render the textures. Maybe there's something wrong with it. Oh, I gotta do this all over
these
again.
Models haven't been improved since like probably like the Wii. Like they probably have to completely redo the textures, the skins, how it fights.
Yeah, they definitely, with how much the movement has changed from being this sort of robotic kind of scripted look to this natural kind of like, you know, the monsters kind of waver and bob and flow around a little bit better.
They don't like attack, slowly turn around, attack, slowly turn around.
Yeah, that's really part of what made Hammer so great in Freedom Unite.
In a lot of games, because like you could get a pound after like literally every hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, so I'm definitely eager for more monsters. I'm definitely not saying if there's plenty, because I would love there to be more, but the pacing is nice. You know, I've had the opportunity to go through all of the monsters, you know, up from the beginning all the way to the end game. You fight everything one by one. You go back and you farm a few. You know, you get the chance to really learn and fight each monster. Whereas for you, it's more just like power your way through to the end, and like you don't really get to fight certain monsters more than once. You know, you fight like Ash Ketchawatcha the one time necessary, and then you literally never do it again because Ash Ketchawatcha sucks. Like, why would you do that? And it's just, there's a lot of monsters that are like that, and now Gen Ultimate is out now as of recording this, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah. So it's how
He's been playing it.
It's the same. There's like 70 monsters in that or something.
There's an incredible amount.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna knock it because I haven't played it, but that just seems unnecessary, and it sounds like to me the same thing. You're gonna, actually I'm just gonna keep using Greatsword. You're gonna just power your way through because you want to get to end game with all your friends. There's gonna be some monsters you do once, twice, and forget they even exist, so that you can just grind the same, you know, 7 or 8 end game monsters, and that's it. And it's not, you know, I did that plenty with the other games, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think that having, you know, nearly 100 monsters is really a good thing all the time.
Yeah. I'd rather, you know, quality over quantity. Spend your time making one good monster rather than 2 mediocre ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to what they have coming. You know, in PC, we're still gonna get what? Call of Terroth and Behemoth.
Lunastra.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
Lunastra.
Lunastra.
Everyone and their
Like,
mother is talking about a Latreon coming. Of course, nothing
yes.
official, but like, if the Latreon comes, just like this gradual flow of content. And it's not just like DLC content where it's like, oh, there's new event quests, which are great, of course, the event quests and the armors, but like, these are new monsters, you know, new fights, new weapons, new everything, as opposed to just like, in this quest it's Billybobjho, but he's big. Like, oh,
Yeah,
sick.
this is like brand new content.
Yeah,
there,
it's like, it's a real update
Yeah,
to
I'm
what
quite
you're doing.
I'm quite excited for Colv.
Oh yeah, I
It
love.
looks really interesting.
It's kind of interesting though, yeah. Like it starts off as kind of oh it's a chase or whatever, and then you need to like, start real fighting like later on as the pursuit level increases.
Oh, here's a complaint. The handler can die.
Yeah.
I feel like
that stoned lady just needs to not talk for the rest of her life.
that's why I trimmed the language from Monster. It's like
To the
he's speaking in
babbling.
gibberish. It's just like babbling. It's a
That's
lot more standard.
slightly better.
I'm bandit mantled up, boys.
I'm gonna put an affinity booster down for you.
I think I'm too far away. Go for it anyways. Oh, we hit. Nice. Why does it keep saying you've set affinity booster 3,000 times?
I don't know.
I
put
don't.
it down my
It
jump.
just keeps going. Why?
Is it still
Oh.
going?
Oh, yeah.
It's still going.
I bet it's going to do it for the entire quest.
Oh yeah.
No, it stopped.
What? Oh yeah, I guess Disco's just set an affinity booster 15,000
Well, that was fun. Are
times.
they just all over the map now?
I wish.
Just like the entire map is just like in a pink haze.
I'd be down with that. I've got critical status on this, so I kind of would like to always have
Yeah,
like
I pressed
100%
it
crit.
literally once.
Interesting.
Diana, quit your moving. I don't like it when things move.
God damn it. Just like,
I like the return. Well, okay, arena's been in every game. I shouldn't say the return to the arena, but
it's one of many arenas.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the things just really are regained by being on a console. Like I honestly have no memory of doing arena on 4U. I know I did. I definitely did. But it was like, all right, we're gonna do this to get it over with, and then never touch this again. Whereas in this game, it's been like, oh hell yeah, arena! Like I'm psyched to do arena. I really enjoy it, and I don't know. I just think a lot of this just kind of takes me back to Try. If Chubb is currently listening to this, I only remember Chubb was giving me shit. He's like, all you're gonna do is compare it to Try, and he's not wrong because
I mean, being
obviously-
compared to Try is kind of an honor for you.
Obviously, yeah. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm not gonna say Try is the best game. Like my actual favorite game at the moment is 3U, but you know, Try
3U?
is what got me into
I thought
it.
you didn't like
and
3U.
I think that this game. Sorry, did I say 3U? I meant 4U and Portable Third. Anyways, but like Try got me into it, and this game, it engine-wise, it looks the most like Try. I think Try, out of all of them, you know, had that more of that realism kind of animation, besides, you know, the giant anime weapons.
Yeah.
And like everything just kind of feels like Try. The fact that you can kit out a set, like Alec was talking about earlier, you don't need the tools to do it. That was a thing we didn't try. Yeah, it just all feels. It feels like being a kid again, I guess. It's just really nice to have
I mean, it's
another
just-
game that's like that.
It feels brand new, is what it feels like, I feel like.
Yeah, it feels like I was severely disappointed by 3U, and this feels like what the successor to Try should have been. It's
Yeah.
just like it's there's so many things that are improved upon, so many little things. You know, I can guarantee when we stop recording, we're all gonna think of like 10 other things that are just.
Oh, for sure.
the
There are
little
1,000 things I
details.
thought of that I didn't get to say just because we were talking about other things we love.
Yeah, like I don't have a list written down or anything. I'm just kind of thinking of what I can think of as it happens in the game, and just. I'm trying to think now. There's some stuff with Bowgun where like Bowgun with its loading mechanics are now improved. Combining is
Yeah.
smoother. It's just all these little things. You're like, oh, they fixed that. That's out of the way now. it's so much better. You don't even have to think about it.
Yeah, like actually one thing I can definitely think about right now is a mining system.
It's gathering in general.
Well, gathering, but also gathering is so much faster and better. But the combination system, they streamlined that to an incredible degree. Like combining things, it takes less ingredients. You no longer need the combination books.
God, screw the combo books. Just waste.
Yeah, you no longer need the combo books. Like all of the stuff that used to be really complicated to create is now like really been simplified. Like I mean, like now instead of combining like 5 separate things to make your max or ancient potion, it's like three ingredients.
Yeah.
Instead of like make this and then use that to make this and then use that to make your max potion.
It was interesting to see. There was at least 2 articles that were like review, you know, whatever they were, kind of articles written about Gen Ultimate when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was just the 2 or 3 I found. I didn't really see that many out. They just kind of popped up on my Google feed. But it was people just bashing them for the little inconsistencies that are annoying, or not inconsistencies, but like little menial bullshit things you have to do, like, you know, sharpening your, remembering to bring whetstones, and yeah, the combo books, and the annoying flexing after a potion. To me, I don't dislike those things, because obviously I've played this game so long.
They're what made Monster Hunter.
Yeah, they're very endearing, nostalgic things, but at the same time, I don't miss them, and I'm not going to say that they were better. It's nice to have them out of the way.
Again, strictly different, I think.
It's just, it was funny to read the articles, and they're like, yeah, you know, if you started in World and you want to try this new one, don't, because it's a serious downgrade, or like it's for the purists, it's for the old people who played the old games. If you come from World, you're going to be miserable, and it's like, well, yeah, you're probably right. You would be miserable, because there's just a lot of bullshit where you're like, God, I put up with this shit for like thousands of hours. Why? Why did I do that?
I mean, I still love the older games. I'll still probably go back to 4U and play every now and then, but like just everything has been so streamlined and simplified, and I love that it's brought in so many new people. Like, you know, there's always like, you know that hipster thing. They're like, I played it before it was popular, but I love this game. What is it? 10 million sales?
Yeah,
I don't know the
am so happy
numbers.
that this tiny little niche thing that I have loved for over a decade now, probably. Oh, definitely over a decade, actually. I've been playing since the original on the PS2. Is now, like, popular. People know about it. I think that is amazing. Like, this is finally... Diablos, you're a bastard.
I'll put one down.
Ruining the flow.
Like, I find it so amazing and so fantastic that, like, this game is popular now. People, like, at the, like, a mainstream level, people like this game that has been for so long been so niche and unknown is fucking amazing. I love it.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah, we
congratulations to Capcom and anybody who had worked on this game. Like, you did it. You broke into the Western audience, and you did it in a fantastic manner.
Yeah, I really... I think there are definitely things that can be improved on, as we've obviously touched on, but it is just like... they're far outshadowed. The problems are far outshadowed by the amount of good things and changes that are made to this game.
Oh boy.
And they're really engaging with the community. You know, they really do listen to what people are saying. So you can expect that if there's a serious problem or a request or whatever, I'm not gonna say they're gonna do something about it, but they're at least listening, you know?
Yeah.
And they know.
They may even acknowledge it.
Like, it's not like the standard, just like, we are listening to your complaints, TM.
Yeah.
When in reality, their PR department is just like, yeah, that'll shut them up for like a week, maybe.
Yeah, I know. You know, the people in our little circle of friends, like, none of us are Capcom fanboys. We
just like the company itself quite a bit.
We roast Capcom all the time about just like the dumb shit they do, And so, and it was like the previous games, it just felt very much like you were just being ignored, or you know, they don't care because they didn't. I don't think they did. And this game comes along, and it's just like, God, are you even the same company? Like, you're doing everything right. Who are you guys? Like,
Well, I would like to think that Capcom doesn't really have much control over the Monster Hunter team, I don't think, because of the game's just, especially in Japan, the popularity, but with the popularity of this game now in the West, like, they can't touch Monster Hunter, because if fans start hating Monster Hunter, that's a lot of revenue lost.
yeah. Before
Well,
it
it's
was
such a huge risk this game was, in a way.
Like, yeah, because, like,
before it made them so much money in Japan, obviously, but that's just it. They couldn't get it out of the, you know, they couldn't get it into other markets, at least on a wide scale.
yeah, no, it
only
was a niche
thing.
title here, but
And now it's
it
huge.
was just niche. Now it's mainstream, but yeah, Capcom really, like, I mean, you know, like, there's no microtransactions, and I'm pretty sure that it's because Capcom would have loved to have them, but the Monster Hunter team was probably just like, nah.
That ain't how we roll.
And then Capcom was probably just like, well, if we lose Monster Hunter, we're doomed forever, because the Monster Hunter team really could just go to any other company, and they'd be like, yep, sign me the fuck up.
Oh, I'm worried I'm gonna miss my true charge.
Because like if you work on the Monster Hunter, like
Got it.
you can probably get a job in the game market in Japan anywhere, dude.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I think working on Monster Hunter is its own thing. Like, as a team, they just be like, we're all leaving and going to X other company. It's just like, welp, we just lost Monster Hunter. I guess we're going
I don't know about that
bankrupt.
because like I think like Capcom does own the IP.
Oh, like, but yeah, but if you lose all their devs, no one else is gonna make. the
They'll just
game
make
as
some.
good as-
They'll just make not Monster Hunter. You know?
They'll make something similar to Monster Hunter, but they'll make Dauntless, and no one cares
Huh.
about Dauntless.
Yeah, I think just dialing back a little bit before you were saying like congrats to Capcom. I agree. Like
Oh yeah,
I'm not one to go easy on Capcom. Like I definitely.
I'm
have
so
some
happy
complaints
that
about
this
the things
game
they've
was
done.
the success that it was.
And yeah, this one comes around. It just like credit where credit's due. They did a great job, and they did it right.
Yes.
And there are a few games that are truly perfect. So I expect they'll
Yeah,
fix
and,
things. You know, they're gonna
Like,
fix them
the
whether.
fact that this game is in the mainstream right now is what I think is so impressive, because for so long this was a hyper niche title here in the States.
Oh yeah.
But like, you know, I think the one thing that I think Joe said it that really stuck out with me is like I was walking down the hall and my coworker was just sitting there like, I can't wait to go home and play Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Like yes, absolutely. It's just.
And it's just like,
Yes, me too.
finally, everyone else noticed that this game is fucking awesome.
It's like crack, dude.
Like, I mean, what, I've already got over 350 hours logged in this
I'm
game.
at 288 right now.
I'm winning.
Damn guys, I am at I think when I booted it this evening,
You also
like
have a big boy job.
130, I think. Yeah, like that. This is one of the few games that I'm trying the best I can to like make time in my day to come back and like keep playing it, and there's really not many games to make me do that, and so it is great. It's just, yeah, I think I said it earlier. It's being a kid again. It's just like everything that I loved about the older games in the series is just coming back and being made better. It's great.
Yeah.
Very solid. Oh, look
I-
at that hot pose. Hey, there's one last thing before we start to wrap up here. Look at this. You can hide your menu to see.
Yes, we finally got the menu hide back. They held it hostage since like the PSP days, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I've played a game
I don't remember.
where you could do that.
Like it was a feature long ago, but they've held it hostage for so long. But now you can witness your end screen. You can hide everything and take a screenshot.
I have so many ridiculous screenshots that I haven't even gone
Oh,
back to
dude.
look at.
I've got so freaking many.
Yeah.
Ah, crap. Way down here. Alright, I'm head back up to our main area, the
Sam.
gathering hub. Alright, we are hitting time on the dot, so think we'll wrap up here. Do you guys have any final points you'd like to throw out?
Not
Nothing
really.
really. I think we went over just about everything we wanted to. I love this game. I love this franchise. Many of my prayers have been answered. If you ever don't know what to do, go on an expedition. You'll have fun.
Yeah, you'll definitely have fun doing that.
Yeah.
Find animals, rare animals, go fishing, hunt whatever shows up. It's a good time.
I expect to be playing this game for quite a while, as long as probably even after content stops flowing. I'm sure I'll still be playing.
Absolutely. Like, I'm 350 hours in, and I've got no intention of stopping.
Sam.
Like, I have not even had even close to my fill of Monster Hunter.
All right,
But
sick.
it is worth noting, massive fanboy. So take what I say with a grain of salt.
All right, cool. Well, we appreciate those who have listened and watched for listening and watching. And maybe there will be some more content, maybe not. We'll find out. But until next time, I'm Billybobjho. And yeah, let us know what you think about this. Have a good night.